Welcome, Big Hoss. What was your interest in flat Earth? Like, have you heard anything about it before?
Uh, yeah, I mean, I've heard a few things. I'm not trying to be like a hater or anything. I just kind of want to see what you guys are talking about.
Well, I mean, the topic. We're an intervention program. Most people can't admit that the globe Earth, as far as personally as far as they're concerned, is a belief, and they won't admit that. So it's a problem, right? It's because you first got to admit that you just have a belief. So, for instance, if I ask you or anybody, how do you know the Earth's a globe, and don't tell me how you think somebody else knows it, like how they know
Sure. So you're
personally
saying,
what their primary information is, and they don't have any.
yeah, no, no. I think I know what you're saying. You're saying that like if you're going to be like, oh, well, trust the science or whatever, it's kind of just like
Yeah.
taking it at faith.
Yeah, well, even that is saying they know. It's not saying you know. You're saying they know, right? The scientists know it's a globe. You don't personally know. They
Sure,
know.
yeah.
So for you personally, it's a belief, and they have a hard time just admitting that simple thing.
Yeah, I can do that.
Which kind of like pulls the rug out from the whole I can't believe you guys are flat earthers, when all they're really saying is, I can't believe you don't believe what I believe, which sounds crazy, right?
Yeah.
And then they start rationalizing it, and they say, if the Earth is flat, how does this work? If the Earth is flat, how does that work?
They've never said,
Yeah.
if the Earth is a globe, how does this work? They've never said that to themselves.
Yeah, I can see where you're coming from.
I have this funny question I ask people to see how honest they can be. I say,
Mhm.
if the surface of the Earth is not curving, then the surface of the Earth must be what? And your answer would be what?
Flat.
99%, I wouldn't say 90, at least 90% of the time.
Gotta be, it's over 70. There's no doubt it's
For
over
sure.
70.
You just want me to say flat, or, but it is curving. And it's like, you can't even be honest about it.
Well,
It's like painful for them to just say, yeah, dude, the Earth would be flat if it's not curving. But it's a hypothetical. You know what I mean? No one's saying, hey, you're admitting the Earth is flat. We're just saying, hey, hypothetically, if the surface of the Earth is not curving, what is it? And they can't even say it would be flat because they're, for whatever reason.
yeah.
Don't you find that a little strange?
It is pretty funny, yeah, because people will say things like, "Oh, what if the moon were made of cheese?" You know what I mean? And nobody has a real problem with that, or just silly things. So, what if the cow jumped over the moon? Yeah, and if flat Earth is supposed to be so ridiculous and outrageous, like, why is it so hard to even just say those little words? It is pretty weird.
Yeah, I feel like that's kind of the case with like a lot of
Hold on a
different
second.
belief
If you just
systems.
entered the chat, I just want to check and make sure we don't have anybody else in here. If you just entered the chat, don't leave because you can't talk. You have to be manually unmuted if you don't have a role. So I will manually unmute you. So Big Hoss, when you leave and come back, nobody has to manually unmute you because you have the BC verified role. Just to tell you.
Nice. Appreciate that. Well, give me 1 second, guys. Sorry, baby.
Well, I'll Kajo, what's his name here? KO. Let's see what KO has to say. What's up, KO? You're unmuted if you want to speak. Hey, he's got our tag. Coolio.
I have nothing to say. I'm just listening.
Okay. Well, hey, I can give you the VC verified role if you just follow a couple simple steps.
I'm driving on my phone right now, so maybe later.
Oh, okay. Well, they're verbal, dude. Like all you got to do is agree that you're going to read the rules and abide by them. That's it.
Yeah, for sure. Then I'll do that. Yeah, sounds good.
All right, word.
Hey, Big Hoss, do you think the surface of the Earth is measurable?
Hypothetically, I guess if you took if you had like an infinitely long ruler or something, I don't know. I don't know what you're trying to get at, to be honest.
Well, Earth as a globe is like a geometry claim. Saying, hey, it's a ball, that's like geometry. And in geometry, to figure out whether something is a particular figure or form, we measure it. Do you think we can measure the Earth to figure out what its figure is or its form is? Do you think it's possible?
Well,
Not even in its totality, but a section, even, to figure out one or the other.
let's say when I thought about it.
Does it help that most of the surface of the Earth is water?
Yeah, I guess it's hard to measure, like, a fluid, just fluid. Yeah, that's what water is.
Well, I mean, the good thing about the water being most of the surface and it being fluid is that dynamic, you can extend that out, extrapolate that out to the entire surface of the water. So if the water's not curving, then the Earth can't be a ball because water isn't going to be flat in one place and curved in another place. If that water's connected, right? So in reality, even though we call it the seven oceans, right? The seven oceans, there's only one world ocean.
Four oceans.
Yeah, that's it. There's just one ocean, dude.
Yeah.
And they're all connected. Well, the seven oceans are connected as in one ocean. So any part of that ocean, the entire ocean should reflect that part. Now, of course, there's going to be some variation. The tide height, the size of the waves, the currents, there'll be some variation, but like the vertical compared to the horizontal, like the ratio is like that ratio wouldn't mean a fuck of a difference because it's like in the seventh decimal point the difference is. Like if what we call the Pacific is higher than the Atlantic by 50 feet, even it doesn't mean anything as far as whether the surface of the Earth is curving or not. It doesn't confound the result, is what I'm saying.
Sorry, I think hot micing a little.
It's all right for now. You think we went to the moon, dude?
I don't know. I guess I don't have an opinion on that one. I don't know.
What if I
Probably not.
told you that even now they're still saying it, that it would take multiple rockets to get to the moon because you'd have to put the fuel into orbit. It would burn all its fuel up just trying to get into orbit. They're saying it now still, even today. That the Artemis needs like what was it? 15 rockets need to be launched.
Yeah.
Fuel cargo, basically. So they launch the Artemis, they fuel it up with 15 other rockets of fuel, and then they fly it to the moon. Von Braun said he would need 3 rockets the size of the Empire State Building, and then to fuel it up and fuel those up. Elon Musk has also said it would take 7 rockets or something, 7 starships. So it's turning out to be like if they're actually trying to get to the moon, that there's the story that human beings went to the moon on a single rocket in 1969 is utter horseshit.
Yeah, do you think when Werner von Braun said that, like, was he at that time still thinking like it was possible to get there? You know what I mean? Like, was he taking it seriously, do you think?
I don't know. No, I know the context when he said that it was actually a production by Walt Disney. Yeah, when he had it was like he was giving like a presentation at Walt Disney did the production. He had little model rockets that he was showing like in like a model space station. It's pretty weird. I'd probably find it.
Yeah, because that's one
Big,
thing. I mean, of course, we'll never know the answer. I'm just speculating, but I just wonder, like, at one point they must have actually been like, yeah, let's try to get up there. That'd be cool. Like, at what point did they, people who actually have control of this technology and were trying to do things realize, like, oh, yeah, we really can't do this. Let's just fake it. That'll be cool. I just wonder at what point that happened historically.
hey, Big Hoss, do you know who Werner von Braun is?
Actually, don't. I'm kind of here just to learn.
That's why we asked you if you knew. Sometimes we talk
Yeah.
about things we assume people know, but then we find out that they don't. So, like Werner von Braun, he was brought over from Nazi Germany. He was the creator of the V2 rockets, if I'm not mistaken, and he was one of the people that helped found NASA and good friends with Walt Disney. Yeah, brought over here on Operation Paperclip.
What's the Operation Paperclip?
It was after World War II. The U.S. government put paperclips on Nazi German members' files, people that would have been good choices to bring into our government to use for basically propaganda, because that was one thing Nazi Germany was supposedly really good at, was propaganda.
Oh, by the way, the Russians got the other half of the Nazi scientists, and they headed up the Russian space program. So you had Nazis on both sides playing propaganda.
Nazis actually dictated, defeated Nazis partially dictated the post-war narrative of what even happened during World War II. I mean, Hitler was Time Man of the Year in 1932. So a lot of people don't know. He was a friend
Yeah,
until he was the enemy.
they hosted the Olympics too when he was in power.
They loved Hitler. Shit, dude, there was a Nazi frickin' rally at Madison Square Garden. They took out full-page ads in the New York Times, front pages. All that history has been memory holes, as usual.
Let me ask you, Big Hoss, if you could find out how to determine whether or not the Earth is actually curving or not, would you care?
I don't know. I guess it probably doesn't really affect my life one way or another, but it's still interesting, I think.
Why do you think it wouldn't affect your life?
Because what is it going to change for me, like in my day-to-day life? I guess.
I mean, you'll know a little bit more about the place of where you live. It's kind of like you buy a house with like 1,000 acres on it, right? And you know nothing about the land that you live on or the home that you live on, and all you do is stay in one room and you believe that everything else is something else, right? But instead you could go out and learn more about it, right? Go look at the wall, see if there's any cracks in it, fix it, grow some plants, uh, domesticate some animals,
Yeah.
live a happier life.
I mean, I feel like it's kind of the same as like knowing what happens after you die. Like, does it really matter? At least to me.
I mean, I guess you won't know until you know, right?
Yeah.
But if you choose to remain ignorant, then you'll never know.
Well, like I said, I'm here to learn. So
Somebody new come in yet? Truth Revolution 101.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's worth. I think it is valuable to know that you don't live on a globe. I mean, there's no verifiable evidence of a globe. There's no measurements of curvature, because it can help you to trust your own experience. Whereas one thing the globe propaganda does is, from a very young age, make you think that the way you experience the world is not really right. Like, that's basically what you're told. That's what all children are told. Oh, yeah, seems like it's not moving, but it's really moving at a high rate of speed. Seems like it's flat, but it's really not. So you're totally wrong about that too. So you just have to trust these experts, to tell you how it really is. And then when it turns out these experts are wrong, or these experts actually have no verifiable documented evidence to back up their claims, because people were introduced to the globe idea at such a young age, they're looking for another expert to tell them. I mean, I'm not saying this is you, Big Hoss. I'm just saying what I've observed over time is, especially people who are very resistant to the globe, to leaving the globe behind, to just discarding a failed model. People who are resistant to that, they just need somebody else to tell them, now it's time to get rid of the model. Now it's time to go back to actually believing that reality is the way it presents itself. And you don't need an expert to tell you that, because if the experts who originally told you not to trust your own experience, which is the Earth is flat and stationary, just as it appears, and we see things in the distance that would be impossible to see if we were on a globe of radius of 3,959 miles, you don't need somebody else to tell you that. You can just figure that out for yourself.
yeah, I was gonna say, so I mean, would you consider yourselves to be like experts as well, or as what you're trying to say is like do your own research, basically?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I consider the people here to be experts on debunking the globe, for sure. Yeah, because people here that have been around here for a while, have spent many years studying the issue, figuring out the mathematics of what the globe predicts, debunking that based on thousands of different long-distance observations, horizon observations, and so on. So, yeah, I think that's the case. But that's the thing. But we also don't want people. We don't want people to just take our word for it. We don't want to be the new experts. Like I just said, you can go out and figure that out for yourself. I mean, that's what I did. That's what other people here did. So, even though it's true that in one sense, yes, we become experts on debunking the globe, like you too can become an expert. It doesn't even really take that long. I mean, the math is not really that complicated, and it's better just to become your own expert.
Yeah, that makes sense. Seems reasonable.
Have you seen the long distance observations, Big Hoss?
Long distance observations. Are you talking about like the thing with the laser over the water or whatever? I'm actually like not that familiar. So.
Well, you're familiar enough to say that, so yeah, you must have seen one of them. Yeah, I mean that's the crux of the flat Earth argument, that there's a whole bunch. I mean, laser tests are one part of the long distance observation. You can do it without lasers, but the ones that are most carefully documented, some of the most carefully documented observations are laser tests. For example, one of the FE core laser tests where the laser hit the target at a distance of 25 miles when the predicted curvature there would have been having that target hidden by 297 feet of non-existent curvature. So that's cool. Yeah, so you understand the main argument then? Or you've heard it before, that's great.
Cool. Sorry, I'm all but out of it, so let me send it. My energy is low right now.
Oh yeah, I understand. Mine is too, so yeah, no judgment here. We're just glad you're here, so that's fine. Did you have any questions about anything else about the flat Earth?
Not in particular, no. I was kind of trying to just listen for a minute.
Sounds cool.
Cool.
Josh Ingersoll is here.
Who is that?
He's a satellite person.
Welcome, Josh. Very interesting.
Is it?
Well, he's supposed to wait to speak to me before he rejoins. So clearly can't follow directions.
Or the other one. I mean, I didn't
All
talk
of
anything about this one. If you did, that's whatever you said.
Yeah, that's why I flagged that I was in here. I'm just listening, but happy to chat.
No worries, dude. Listen, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll move you to a channel, then I'll talk to you. Then you can come back.
Depending on what his response is.
Oh yeah, AI talking to him in the channel. Yeah, it's scary. But he's already gone, so no time for a warning.
Did you move him or did he just bounce?
I was trying to move him, but then it didn't show, so he must have not
too
been paying attention.
bad. Yeah.
I wanted to ask him about the 22 rockets. Because he
Yeah.
said he's a moon believer. I wanted to grill him on that.
Well, tell him to come back and ask him whatever it was you're going to ask him. I'm not supposed to talk to him. That's my personal commitment to myself. I guess since it's only to myself, I could break the commitment to myself, right? Because
Yeah, but then you'd be mad at yourself.
No, that's fine. Just listen. Indio will ask him about
probably
the
for the
rockets.
best.
It'll be hilarious.
Yeah.
Vintage wants to know what's up with Josh. Josh is a product manager for Amazon. They changed the name. It was Cooper, and now they changed it to like Leo or something. They changed the name. So they're trying to do an imitation of Starlink, basically, and have satellite internet. And Josh is the
Well, I got his
glorified
bio.
fucking salesman, basically.
I screenshotted his bio, so let's see.
Yeah.
He's got uncut rocket footage and some ISS pressure sensor, space lasers, and laws.
ISS external pressure sensor. Oh, my Yoder must have hurt him somewhere.
Hey guys, sorry, I invited my friend Jones. I don't know if you guys can like unmute him and like ask him the questions or like agree to the TOS or whatever. Stones.
Oh, okay. What's up, Stones? What a weird name.
Hey man. Hey guys. Yeah, it is a weird name, I think. Sorry guys. It's funny.
Yeah, what's up?
Me.
Here to ask questions.
Wait, we're asking questions. Who's
I mean,
answering?
I don't know. I don't know why he invited
Who's
you here.
answering? Who's
Did
You're a
Big House bring in
Glober?
here?
I thought it'd be
You're-
interesting. So,
You're a Glober, Joan?
No, I'm a flatter, but I'm a flirt. But if you want to fucking answer questions, go ahead.
Oh, he's a flatter and a flirt. Do you have a boy band called the Five Flatters?
I do. I love them. I love when they kick their legs up in the air.
Must be Ocasio Falls.
Right. So, if you want to start
Yeah,
having
just
a conversation, what do you want to talk about? The ice wall, or do you want to talk about the
ice
firmament?
wall. Who the fuck?
Oh, you're so gonna get wrecked in here.
No, I'm just wondering who
But
believes in an ice wall.
don't talk about getting wrecked.
What do you think the origin of the ice wall is? The origin of that
The
idea.
origin?
Yeah.
Well, I don't.
The
I
idea
don't
of an
think
ice
the
wall
origin has
perimetering the
anything
Earth.
more to do with life than it does with God.
No. It came from.
No, it came from God.
It came from
And
That's the
Captain
document.
Cook.
if you
No,
think,
it came from bro. It came from Captain Cook. If you look on old maps, they'll say Great Ice Barrier.
there's
Right.
waterfalls.
Captain Cook tried to find a way into Antarctica and sailed for 60,000 miles and couldn't find one. So they called it the Great Ice Barrier. Ice wall comes from globetards. It doesn't come from us. So that's what I'm asking.
Not
Like
true.
ice
That's
wall,
actually
who
not
believes in
true.
that?
It's
Yeah.
waterfalls. It's waterfalls.
No, the idea originated with globetards. Originated.
Well, fuck you then. I'm not a globetard. I don't.
He's
I'm
not
just
calling.
then why are you getting
Relax.
upset? Because if you're not a globetard, there's a saying: if you throw a rock in a pack of dogs, the one that yelps is the one you hit. If you're not a globetard, what are you whining for?
Yeah, he's just telling you where the idea of ice wall came from. It came from globe believers, okay? We're not saying it came from you. We're saying where the idea came from. It didn't come from our community. We never claimed any ice walls.
Okay. All right. So, fair enough. Don't believe that you had a hand in deciding all of this, but
If there was an ice wall, would it mean the Earth is flat? I mean, even if there was one. No, it wouldn't mean anything. So let's get to the brass tacks. What would mean the Earth is flat?
Sorry, it would actually mean that.
So if there's an ice wall, therefore flat Earth. Walk me through that logic.
Okay, so if there are boundaries around the world, the world,
well, maybe it's a boundary on the globe.
No, there's no globe.
No, if it was a globe, there could be a
flat
boundary on the globe, right? Like say the Arctic Circle was a giant fucking ice wall. Around the ring, the whole Arctic Circle is a big fucking ice wall, right? So there could be an ice wall and it would still be a globe.
No, I don't agree with that.
So that's not possible?
Well, I guess
that's what they say exists right now.
Well, I don't think the world is a globe. That's what I'm trying to.
No, what I'm saying is right now they say that there's.
Why am I being?
I'm just explaining things to you, dude. What, are you drunk?
Yeah, I'm a little drunk.
Okay, so
yeah,
slow
you don't
down.
need to take it personally. Just he's trying to explain things to you so you understand them.
So right now they say Antarctica is a giant ice sheet. Okay.
Yeah.
And that ice sheet extends out way into the ocean.
It's
and
not
that
a continent.
And that if you sail south, you're going to run into this giant ice wall, this giant glacier that is on top of the landmass that's Antarctica. So they have an ice wall, okay? And the globe has an ice wall. So there can be an ice wall and the Earth can still be a globe. Okay.
Yeah,
so
okay, that's
it doesn't
fine.
decide it either way. What does decide it is whether the Earth is flat or curved. That decides it. It's the only thing that can ever decide.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't decide it at all. I don't think, in my opinion, that.
Well, what do you think would decide it?
None of that is an explanation or a proof. I don't.
I don't care about explanations. I would care about what would decide it one way or another.
Well,
flat or globe.
Not that. Because what I would
what?
I mean, what?
Right, what
No.
specific observation can we make that would prove flat or globe?
Well,
Observation or measurement?
Okay, you could talk about laser experiments. You could talk about
Yeah,
a few other
there we go.
things. But
Yeah,
I'm not saying the ice wall is proving anything. I'm saying that like that's just like one way to talk about something that like is obviously like a that's not something that like is a disproving or like gotcha. You know what I mean? Like we can have other conversations about things that exist. The ice walls aren't is not one, but I do think that that is the truth. But, okay, so fine. Let's talk
Yeah,
about
who
he's
cares?
just
Doesn't
trying to
matter.
explain to you that the ice wall is just a description of the coastline of Antarctica.
Okay, that I mean, like, yeah, that's perfectly fine on either side. I don't necessarily
Exactly.
think that like
So it
one
can't
way.
decide anything. That's the point I was trying to make. We're
Okay,
we're
well
only
that's fair.
concerned
That's
in
fair. That's
well, hold
fair.
on. We're only concerned in the evidence which will prove one way or another which one it is. We don't care about the things which could work either way. Why fixate on them if they can work either way? They're not going to tell us anything. We're just
I
wasting
don't
our
know.
time
I
arguing
don't know
about.
why I don't know why
Well, I'm just
that
saying,
became
dude. You
like a
don't. Why you got to be cocked, dude? Because you're taking everything personally for no reason, dude.
cocked.
Dude, it's not personal. I'm just giving you information, dude. You're
Yeah,
obviously new to this topic, so
No, I don't think I'm new to this topic. I've seen,
w-
I've read a lot. I've thought
that,
about it a lot.
that's okay. There's a lot of people
relatively
who
new.
talk about this topic. The point here that India is trying to tell you is the arbiter of if your floor is flat is the measurements of your floor. If your floor is curved, you would discover that by measuring it.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, you wouldn't look at your ceiling lights or talk about whether your wall is made of ice or talk about it's warm or cold some time of the day and not some other time, right?
No, okay,
None of those
fair enough.
things can
Fair enough.
determine whether your floor is flat or curved. Now, you can make up stories about why one matches one shape versus the other, which are just bullshit stories. So,
I guess I have to agree with that, but I don't necessarily think that like okay, so some of this is conversations about like I do get misdirected like questions or like oh here's my first argument of whatever, right? Like I don't think that's I think that I have to argue against some of the bullshit quickly until I can I make an argument against like something that's like more nuanced. So anyway,
okay.
like yeah,
You should
so
look, this topic isn't an argument at this point. Like we're way past that. Like, I mean, we've been talking about this in here with
well I
everybody.
haven't
Everybody you
I've
could
never
think
been
of
in
from
here, man. I'm sorry.
listen,
I
bro,
don't want to be a
Josh.
dick. I'm just like
Well,
saying like hey.
listen. We got a dude named Josh. He was just in here. He's a satellite person for Amazon. So all this is verified. He's worked for the UN with their little space nonsense, and we've interrogated him many times. He doesn't
Does he
actually know
understand
anything.
triangulation?
Well, hold on. And we've talked to him many times, and the best he can do is show government cartoons. Right? He doesn't know anything. If we ask him how any of this shit works, he doesn't know anything. Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
the point is that at this point in time, in this so-called flat Earth, globe Earth debate, it's a done deal. It's already over. People just haven't woke up to the fact that the conversation's already done.
Well, I don't think I have a disagreement then with any of y'all.
Well, you don't. I mean, what I'm saying is, you don't have to debate anybody. Because I
Oh,
can ask
I
Josh
see.
right
I
here.
see.
How do you know
I
the Earth is a
apologize.
globe, Josh?
I thought I was coming in here talking to prove my point and type of thing. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
No, what we're trying to tell you is that you actually have the high ground. They have the
You don't have to
burden of
defend shit.
proof. All the evidence is on your side, so you never need to shy away from anything they say. Just look into it, and you'll figure out. Whoa, well,
Okay,
they have a problem here.
So here's a question, and that's actually really a really nice like of a point to make, because I really appreciate that. So I have a really actually I have a concern. So when we talk about triangulation, when it comes to the idea
Of
that
what?
like we have satellites, right? We have
They
satellites
don't
that
use
do
they don't use triangulation. They use what's called trilateration. It's a different thing.
trilateration. Okay,
Yes.
you're right on that. And that's actually true. That's true. Uh, so
And also doesn't use a globe.
my concern is okay. So I've had several conversations with people about like triangulation and trilateration, which you're correct to use the term. Um,
Yeah.
how do I guess like have this argument about like okay, there's a method to like put define a point on the globe. The globe
They're
tards
not
are
using a globe. They're not finding a
right.
point on the globe.
I know, but you
No,
have
no,
to
no, no,
understand.
no. Listen, brother. What you don't understand is even though you look on your phone and it shows the globe and says latitude and longitude, that's not how the GPS itself functions. That
Okay,
is shown to you in a coordinate transformation within the receiver. It changes the coordinate system from Earth-centered, Earth-fixed to a geodetic reference system. Okay, so it changes it. That's not how
but
the receiver actually works and functions within it.
I don't understand that. Okay, so
I know
like
you
make
don't.
that clear to me.
Okay,
Make
so
that clear to
find
me.
your
Like
position on a plane.
how do you make point A to point B make sense if you're not like using that method? And that's what's frustrating to me because I keep trying to like figure it out. I just don't get it.
Okay, I know. Things are hard. They're using a coordinate system called Earth-centered, Earth-fixed, right? Which is a plane. So the
What is
actual
it? What
coordinate
is it? What is it?
Earth,
Earth what?
Earth-centered, Earth-fixed.
Okay.
Okay, but the coordinate that they're putting you on is on top of that, on top of a plane. They're not actually measuring any of that. They're not measuring any globe. They're not measuring any of that crap. So GPS is a passive one-way beacon with a timestamp inside of it. Your receiver picks up that timestamp and says, hey, it took this
Oh,
long
I
for the
get it.
signal. Hold on. Took this long for the signal to get here. I must be this far away because of the speed of
Hmm.
light. And then it does this with multiple um, you know, transmitters, beacons. Okay. They can be in the sky, they can be on the ground, they can be anywhere. Okay. Now you have a bunch of overlapping circles, and that's where it puts your position, but it doesn't put your position on top of a globe. It puts it on top of something called Earth-centered,
Like a flat
Earth-fixed.
map.
Earth-centered, Earth-fixed. No, these are
Yeah.
listen, you're trying to reify
I'm
a
reapplying.
mathematical model and say, hey, dude, this mathematical model, there must be reality. No, dude, we do this all the time. This is well known in all sorts of engineering of everything, is that we'll use a mathematical model, but that mathematical model doesn't have any ultimate reality to it, right? Other than the output. What happens in the
I love
guts
your use
between
of
the input and the
the
output,
word reification.
it's called a reification fallacy. When you make an
Yeah,
abstract
I love that.
idea,
It's beautiful. I love that.
say it's real.
I'm gonna say it to my friends.
There's a
So it's
bunch of
well
stuff you
known.
can
There's
learn
things
about
like
logic,
different.
and if you
Oh,
just
go ahead, Vic.
listen, you can actually learn a lot about how these things work.
Yeah, we have a whole channel, like if you go down, there's information channels with all these topics at infinitum. From not just like these aren't like flat earthers. We're using official sources of how they say it works
Hmm.
in the guts of it. Now, there's always two different narratives to this stuff. There's the way people think it works, and like second order people will talk about how they work. And then when you look into the guts of the devices and how they actually work, it's often quite different.
Okay.
Yeah, so like they're all functioning on the same plane of existence that we're functioning on. So they're drawing angles from a flat surface to a horizon, and they're calling it locally flat, and they're using horizontal planes. Like that's just the base of what they're using, and then after the fact, they turn it into a globe because that's what you expect to see.
Can you see in the chat?
Uh,
Do you see the live?
are you
Do
talking
you
to
see the
me?
text channel that's right above this voice channel? It's called the live stream voice text.
Are you talking to me?
Yeah.
I could see chat, but I don't see.
I don't know
anything
if you even
inside.
have the BC verified role. Hold on, let me
He
give it
has
to you.
I'm not. I don't think I've. I don't think I've.
Yeah, you got it.
No,
So
Till,
there's
they're
a
not talking
text.
about the side chat. They're talking about the one above it.
Yeah, someone
Side
pinged you in it.
Wait. Oh. Somebody
Right
else.
above here.
Something else.
It's not the embedded chat. It's the chat above it, above this one.
Hold on. Let me look. Does it say
Yeah,
lobby?
if you lower,
Someone just pinged you in it.
no, yeah, if you lower this window and then look up right above it.
This is the one with the Nazi stuff.
Nazi stuff.
What?
All right, can I help y'all out real quick?
Written.
Let me help you. Hey, guys, let me help you out. If you open the embedded chat, there's literally a disclaimer with the link straight to the live stream voice text chat.
German Nazis. Which is it? Right there.
Yeah, scroll down. We were talking about
Okay,
Project
hold on.
Paperclip.
I just found it. Okay, now I got tagged. Okay, so and again, this isn't stuff that I'm like unaware of. Like I've looked this stuff up like a lot. I don't get this part of it. This equator slash like the X axiom and the Z north
Do you see the? Do you see
grifter.
the? Look. Do you
What
see
does
the?
it say?
I'm gonna.
Griff Z.
Okay. Look. I'm gonna post it again. Look at the image. The diagram I posted. You see that?
Okay,
With a
I'm
little
looking
square.
at it.
You see the ball with the square on it?
I see the ball with
With the square.
that's
There's a little
globe.
square on it that says. You don't see the little ball with the square on it in the
I
chat
do.
right now.
I see it already, and that
So
square is
look
confusing.
where the coordinate system actually is on that square. It's not on the ball.
Well, yeah, obviously.
Okay.
I see that.
Okay, so they take this coordinate system and do what's called a coordinate transformation or a geometric transformation and convert it all into latitude and longitude and then show it on your phone with a little image of a globe. That's how GPS works.
The actual observer is in the middle of this imaginary globe. The globe doesn't actually exist.
Oh, okay. So, like, but again, though, like, I've looked at this stuff. Like, I think I get it. Like, I think I understand, the idea behind this. But they just
Well, think,
like,
how do they get so you have the origin of coordinates, right? The center of that sphere and the square.
yeah.
How do they get the height, the distance of the square to the center? You think they measure that? Of course not. Okay. They presuppose the distance of they just add.
They add?
They just add 3959 to the height of the satellite.
That.
Satellite, whatever it is, right? Or they can use a pseudo range, and if it's a fixed ground station, they can just add a height to that. Because there's all this stuff is black box. You can't like open one of these GPS receivers and see what it's actually doing.
Because I don't actually get like what the plate is. Like at the end of the day, like I think that O. Okay, are we talking about the O?
The point was GPS don't prove a globe. It doesn't even use a globe, and it's been around before satellites existed.
What?
Yeah. So did you know that? Like LORAN was a system used. It's the same as GPS, except for they admit it's radio towers. Okay, it's existed before satellites existed.
No. I disagree
Yeah,
with you here.
and the best part
Loran,
about
you
it.
Here's an
disagree?
interesting point. Here's an interesting point.
Sorry. There's no disagreeing. LORAN worked
There's no
before GPS
disagreeing.
and satellites, and LORAN was known to transmit beyond the geometric curve. So,
Wait, what?
Yeah, 1,800 miles, dude.
What do you mean?
I mean, it's supposed to be the Earth's supposed to be a big ball, right? So you should only have a
I
line of sight.
understand that you can use lasers to like disprove you could disprove the globe Earth theory.
Yeah,
I get
but
that.
this
I
is
get
using radio waves. That the radio waves, you're getting the position of about 1,800 miles out to sea from a ground-based radio station. Right? The curve of the Earth should be in the way. There should be something like, I don't know, 1,800 miles, probably like 100, 200 feet of curve, 200 miles of curve in the way. Meaning there should be a 200-mile mountain between you and the boat.
And?
Yeah, but there ain't one.
Huh? Of course there is.
There isn't one because they did this for navigation.
I agree with you. I get that. So what are we arguing about?
That GPS, tell your buddies or whoever you're debating, that GPS existed before satellites.
Okay.
Before satellites. Before the first rocket was ever launched. Before Sputnik.
Again, my question is, how do they do it? How do they make it fake? Like, how do they make?
They put a little frickin'. I told you they do a coordinate transformation and show a little ball on your phone.
Yeah, they also have so-called geostationary
Dude,
satellites.
put it this way. Okay, so hold on, Drace. So on your phone, they can make an app called GPS, right? And instead of showing you a globe, it could be frickin' Super Mario. And they could plot your position based upon the coordinates, because Mario is actually just like a wireframe coordinate system. And whatever your phone says your position is, they could map that to Mario. And you could think you live on a fucking 3D Mario.
Yep.
I guess.
Not I guess. That's the way it is, dude. Just because they show you a fucking cartoon don't mean nothing.
Well, I think it looks pretty professional, but I'm not saying
so it's so good. This is how good it is. Okay, listen. Black out all your car windows and drive using just the GPS. Just stick the GPS in the dashboard and take the turns when the GPS says the turn.
If you're saying that these are fake images, I want you to tell me why they are. And that's also part of the things that I have arguments with my friends about, is like, why are these fake? Well, I don't actually have a good argument.
Because they depict something that's impossible.
Well, then then I will tell them that. But
you see
I don't
images
have
of Santa, right? Santa Claus, right?
Dude,
you've seen
you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. You know
Listen closely. Have you seen images of Santa?
Have you seen images of the globe?
It's hypothetical.
No. Okay, well, first of all, give me permission.
The point is, listen, you're trying to think of your excuse before you actually listen, okay?
No.
So really
Let me show pictures, and you could tell me how they're wrong.
I'm working. I'm trying to build up logically to that, but you won't let me.
Okay.
It's really simple. Are all images of Santa fake? Is there really a Santa?
I think there's probably pictures of Santa.
Okay, here comes the cope. Listen, brother. Someone doesn't need to prove how every image of Santa Claus was faked. We know Santa's a fictional character.
I mean, you could easily do it for like 1 or 2. And then the ones that I actually care about.
No, every single image of Santa's fake, bro.
You would help me to make that argument to my friend.
Bro, every single image of Santa's fake. Every one.
I know,
there is no
what
Santa
about
Claus.
the globe?
There is no globe, and every single one is fake.
Then tell me, do
you want to know how we know every single one is fake?
Yeah,
because
I do.
Okay, here we go. because
Why don't you
all
give me the
those globes.
options? I'm gonna
Are you gonna let me
I'm gonna
answer,
post
or are you
one
gonna
or
keep
two
talking?
pictures
You gotta ask me a question and
of the
talk. Is
Earth.
that your idea? Why are you asking me a question and talking?
I'm sorry.
Okay, so this is how we know every single one of those is fake. All those images depict an ocean that on it has curving water. The water curves into the shape of a ball. We can go to the ocean and try to measure this curve, right? Because it has to be
Wait,
curving. If
with
the
a
picture,
laser, though,
listen,
right?
if the picture shows curving water, then when I go to the ocean, what's supposed to be in that picture is the ocean of the Earth. I should be able to go to the ocean and measure that curve to see if it actually exists. The thing is, that curve doesn't actually exist in reality. It only exists in a stupid image somewhere.
Listen, I agree with you 100%. I've seen
Just
that
like
video.
if they
I've
showed an
seen that
image and there
video,
was
and
spikes of freaking quartz crystal sticking out of their freaking image of the Earth, I could just go to where those spikes are, and if there's no spike there, I know that image is bullshit because what it depicts doesn't exist in reality. That's how we know they're all fake, okay? Because what it depicts doesn't exist in reality.
well, okay. I don't disagree because I saw that laser video and I thought it was
There's way more than
I
one
thought it was
laser test,
damaging.
dude.
I thought it was damaging, and I'm not fucking mad about
There's way
that.
more
Like
than one.
it. Well, I saw one.
And there's way more than
And
those distances. There's 800, dude, there's a 10,000 mile radio transmissions.
I have
Did you hear
trouble.
that correctly? 10,000 miles, the United Kingdom to Australia. Radio transmissions before satellites existed. Now, how do you do that on a ball?
Well, okay, so here's a good point.
You certainly can't do that over curving water.
Brother, I agree with you in that term. Like here's what I'm gonna say.
I don't know. It kind of makes sense to me. What are you saying?
I have friends who I can make the same arguments at, and then they're gonna tell me, well, here's a picture of the globe that
Yeah, and you ask them one question. Okay, how can we test that image to see if that's actually what the Earth looks like from space? What if the Earth is a cube from space? What if the Earth is a freaking pyramid from space? How do we know that what's in the image is what the Earth looks like from space? Okay?
I mean, I guess
how can listen, you ask them, how can we test it? The only way you can test the authenticity of the image is to see if what's in the image actually exists on Earth.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I can't. Okay, so here's the thing. I can't make an argument against like
What if
that.
they showed a Great Wall of China on the East Coast? You need to prove how they faked the image? Can't you just go to the East Coast and see there's no wall there?
But it's frustrating. Okay, so what's my
I know
argument?
it makes too much sense. I know it's painful.
I have a problem fucking making the right argument. Like, you understand what I'm saying?
It isn't our argument. They're auto-believing in something. And why should anybody else believe it? See, they're doing something called reversal of the burden of proof. They're saying, hey, dude, these are images of the Earth to space. Well, that's begging the question. How do you know any of that?
Well,
how do you know that that's an image of Earth from space? Just because someone said, here's an image of Earth from space. So what?
Yeah, I agreed. I don't.
So are all images true unless disproven?
I mean, okay,
why do they deserve to be believed? Let me ask you this. Why do the people that claim that those are images of the Earth from space, why should you believe them?
Well, because they're the ones. They're okay. So I get the
should.
idea
I want the should thing. No, stay on the should. Don't try to run away from it. I want the should. I want the should. Why should you believe them? Give me one good reason.
You need to support the evidence. If you make the claim, you need to support the evidence. Right?
No, but why should you believe them?
Well, I don't. But then.
Well, why should anybody?
Okay. Well, let me. I'll show you a couple like pictures.
Why do your friends believe them? Hold on. Let me ask you this. Your buddies.
They look right. They look correct. They look like.
How do you know that? How do you know they look correct when you've never seen the Earth from that point?
Man, I'm just trying to tell you.
No, I'm asking you. I'm asking you. Shh. Stop talking for a second. How would they know if they're correct when they've never seen the Earth from that point of view?
Well, that's part of my first argument then. How would you know if you've never seen the
No,
Earth from that point of view?
no. Well, people say we've heard people say, well, they look realistic. Well, how do they know they look realistic? How do they know what real is when they've never been there to see what it really looks like? Right? They have nothing to compare it to. This is the problem, and this is why they bring it up, is because those images can only be believed and trusted. Look at the title of this chat: Globe Believer Intervention Program. We are here to point out that the globe Earth is just a belief. And if your evidence is government cartoons because people said, I went to space and took a picture, and you simply believed what they said as holy writ and can't even say why anybody should believe that shit in the first place. Why should anybody else believe it?
And but again, like, I struggle to make these arguments because I just like don't know how to
Dude, the
argue
space
against
images,
some of
that's a
these
very simple
pictures.
argument. Why should you believe it? Like, yeah, they claim these are images from space. Yeah, so what? Why should I believe them?
Yeah,
Give one good reason why you should believe them. I can't think of a good reason.
But okay, well, I could say that all day and say I don't believe that that's a real.
No, I didn't say claim you don't believe it.
Well,
I said ask them what. Listen, brother, you're getting confused. Ask
Let me
them the
show you a picture.
question.
I'm
Listen,
talking about
yep. Ask them the question why you should believe it. I didn't say you don't believe it. Say, hey, I'm open-minded. I want to believe them, but why should I? Really simple.
Yeah.
But why should you?
I have asked them. I got mad.
And what was the and should believe them?
They told me I was a dipshit.
Well, so they didn't have an answer. They didn't give you any reason you should believe them.
Yeah, they told me I was retarded. And I didn't have an answer. And I felt...
You felt like an idiot about what?
I told them that I didn't believe it was a real picture. Then they
Why
told me
should
I was
you?
retarded.
I'm going to ask you, like, for the 10th time. Listen very closely. Why should you?
Because it's a really good picture. It's like a...
How do you know that?
I don't know. You tell me, dude. I don't...
No, I want you to tell me. I want the people that claim they're real to tell me why I should believe it.
Well, I don't know how to do it.
To ask a question of why you should believe it?
Yeah.
Look, if someone comes up to you and says, I rode a unicorn and I was riding Bigfoot double on the back. Isn't it fair to ask? Hold on. Isn't it fair to ask them why should you believe them?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I guess.
So if someone says, "Hey, this is an image from Earth from space,"
that's what I'm trying to explain
it
to
is
you.
completely fair to go, "Well, why should I believe that?" What?
Well,
that's completely rational, fair question. This is why you don't like it, and this is why it's not a liked question. People don't like this question because when these things that are based completely on faith, when you ask, "Hey, why should I follow your faith?" Because that's all it is. You're following their belief because they have no knowledge if that image is real. They didn't take the picture. They don't know if that's what the Earth looks like. They don't know any of those things.
I don't think it's real
Listen,
at all. But
all they're trying to do is to get you to. Well, all they're trying to do, you don't know if it's real or not. Neither do they. That's the point.
I know it's not
real. He's teaching you the vulnerability of their argument. He's not critiquing you. He's showing you how their arguments are vulnerable. So just try to follow what he's saying.
I'm trying to tell him.
Look, what they try to.
I'm struggling with the argument, and I don't know.
They don't have an argument. That's what I'm trying to point out. They're trying to get you to assume that what they're saying is true. This is an image of Earth from space. They're trying to get you to agree to that.
Yeah, they're saying
they haven't demonstrated that that's actually the case. That that's even true in the first place.
They're saying this is an image of space. Prove it's not. That's what they're trying to get you to do.
Basically, yeah.
What is that?
Yeah, they're shifting the burden of proof onto you, and we're trying to help you realize that that's not your burden to bear, and you can just simply be like, oh, well, your image is showing the water curving here. Where is it curving in reality?
Wait, I can't see the picture.
Picture what?
I thought you were saying this is a picture of Earth.
Oh, you want a bunch of pictures of the Earth from space? Oh, I got a whole shit. Come on.
Well, that's my problem. That's hard. That's like
It's
half
not a
my
problem.
issue.
That's what we're teaching
They don't
you.
even look the same, dude. It's not a problem. It's a problem for y'all, for freaking globetards.
I'm not. First of all, I'm not a globetrotter, but also I just don't know how to like say the right stuff to like tell this person like, hey, you're actually not like looking at this realistically.
Yeah, don't let those people get you down. Sounds like, I mean, you're the one who has the higher ground here. They're just
I don't think I do.
resorting
I
to
feel
insults.
bad about myself. Like I feel like I can't do it. I feel like I can't make
Hey,
a good argument when they
Car-
show me the what.
which one? Which image did they show you? Look in the chat. Look at all these Earths. Which is the actual?
Can't
What is the?
see anything in chat. I can't see anything. I don't even know what you're
I
talking.
don't believe you, dude.
Okay.
You already
What do
seen
you
it. You already said you could see it.
No, I
You
never
were
said I
reading it
could see it.
earlier.
Yeah, I said you see the square, and you talked about it. Remember?
Yeah, I know what picture you're talking about. I don't know. I
Okay.
can't see
So there's an
anything.
animated GIF that has a bunch of globes flashing. Which is the? Which one does the Earth actually look like? Because none of these look the same. The animated GIF that says "busted."
Hold on, let me find it.
It's only up like 5 posts, man.
Are they? Oh, they're in the above chat, not in the side chat.
I don't think I'm allowed in the chat or something. Like I don't see
You
it.
are.
What's it called? What's a chat called or
It's
something?
directly above where all the people are in the live stream. There's another
Live stream
little...
voice text?
Yes.
Okay. Hold on. Okay. Oh, yeah. Definitely seen that one. Okay, so when the
Can you
Clidio
tell
one,
us which one of these is the one that looks like Earth? Because none of them look the same.
well, I believe actually that none of them do actually have any sort of like
Well, what about your friend?
well, again,
Sorry, I'm trying to pull up the images. Still haven't gotten there.
I could copy and paste these to my friends who would just like laugh at them and go like, "Hey, that's not like
So they're all real?
NASA.
Why
That's
do they
not
look
real
different?
NASA images." And I'll be mad. I get pissed off about it, you know?
Well, how did they? If they believe in these images, how can they explain the inconsistency?
Well, I don't think
They
they
all
believe
can't be
in all the
real, dude.
images. I don't think they
Some
actually
have to
believe
be
in all the
fake.
images.
Okay, yeah, I can see how there's like the two totally different perspectives there. That's kind of like a
Yeah, I think the
doesn't
problem
really
is
match up.
you need to realize that you don't need to play defensive. You need to play
Yeah,
offensive.
I need to be offensive.
Yeah, you need to realize that the ball you don't have the burden of proof. You experience the world as flat and stationary. That is their experience as well. That is the starting axiom. So they have a claim that's contrary to all observable reality as we experience it. And so they have a very high, extraordinary burden they carry. Extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence. So where is their evidence?
Wait,
Now
who said
they
that?
have
Who
to
said
start
that? Who
presenting
said that?
evidence, and they don't
Carl
have
Sagan.
any valid evidence.
Wait, Carl Sagan said that?
Yes.
Wait, Carl Sagan? Guy who like a astrophysicist?
He also said,
he thought the world was round, yeah.
yeah, he's a dingbat.
Yeah, but this is why you need to learn logic,
It's
bro.
like an all or nothing fallacy, though, dude. Just you don't. There isn't 100% right in anybody.
Of course not.
Yeah, if you learn logic, you'll understand when they're trying to pull these sneaky tricks. They're trying to use all or nothing fallacies, or trying to pigeonhole you into something, trying to flip the burden, use a straw man. And you can be like, no, I'm not claiming that. No, I am being super logical and reasonable. And that just makes them be the unreasonable ones. And they start being like, wait, maybe I should pull back on this unreasonableness and we can have a proper discussion.
Let's take it one step further. Like
Yeah,
you said,
you get
appeals to
one step
authority.
further that way.
Yeah, so appeals to authority. Here's something else Carl Sagan also said. One of the great commandments of science is mistrust arguments from authority. Too many such arguments have proved too painfully wrong. Authorities must prove their contentions like everybody else.
Yeah, use the hostile witnesses of their own religion that they look up to. They think they're standing on the shoulders of giants, but Newton actually called them
Wait, that's what
not
you said
able
too.
to.
That's what he said too.
Yeah, Newton basically thought
Standing
that
on the
anybody
shoulders
who
of
would
giants.
fall for the theory of gravity and believe it would not have the capacity for philosophical thinking.
Okay. Well,
This,
so
Jones, just so you know, brother, just so you know, this is what's called a hostile witness. We're holding their own words against them.
oh, that's smart. That's a good idea. I never thought about that.
Yeah, you
Hostile
don't need
witness.
to defend anything. You're just looking at reality. Reality is presenting itself to you like this, and they have this claim that's contrary to all that, so they need to prove it.
All right. So, end of the day, they need to prove why their picture. Because again, this is the thing that like gets me fucked up. They need to prove why their pictures of the Earth are like real pictures and
You can do
not
it
the
really
other way
simply,
around.
bro. Just take when they post a picture, you just look at the picture and say like, look at that edge where it's curving the water over there, and they're like, yeah, it's curving, and then you're like, where's that in reality? The checkmate right there. They don't have that.
Checkmate 'em. I'm gonna checkmate them by saying, "Hey, do you see that? How this isn't really real life or real water?"
What if it was an image of the Earth, right? And they showed the Great Lakes in Mexico City. Right? We can go to Mexico City and see if the Great Lakes are there, right?
Yeah.
We don't
I
need to
guess.
prove how that image was faked at all. We go, hey, dude, we went to Mexico City. There ain't no Great Lakes there. That image is bunk.
Yeah, but are you saying like we can't go to like your average person or like maybe nobody can like go to space and like take a picture of the Earth, and so you can't like objectively see that with your own eyes?
Whether you could or
we
not,
can't
even those
replicate
images still need validation with the Earth.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
can't replicate their fakery, but we can test their
listen,
claims
sorry to
within the
interrupt.
images. So if
sorry
the
to
image
interrupt.
is showing curved water, that curved water would be in reality, and we can go back to the ground and check if the ground is actually curving. The ground isn't curving, so they die.
This is exactly the
That makes
argument I
sense
was
to me.
trying to find out. I was trying to figure out this. I was trying to figure out a way to explain this. And now I think I understand it. So like basically like when I like look at a picture of the Earth from like NASA or whatever, it's on the onus is on them to explain how that's true and also
Yeah,
why
how do
this.
they verify that? How do you get to verify that photo
Exactly.
and take the same photo just to verify it?
Yeah, I agree. I would I guess I don't know how they could ever like agree or say that it's true.
Yeah, they'll believe it's true. That's very common. What you can just tell them
It's very common, yeah.
like we can't go there and we can check that. That's fine. But can we somehow like see if this image is true? Like, is the water curving? Oh yeah, it's curving. Well, then let's go check in reality if the water is curving. Oh damn, it's not curving. I guess the Earth is flat after all. Damn it.
Oh shit! Yeah, I guess I fundamentally missed that point.
Well, actually, I think it makes sense for them to say it is curving. But I can say it's
Well,
your
based on the photo,
your
but then
job
like
to prove that. It's your job to prove that, not mine. Yeah.
Yeah, no, you don't want to be like it's your job to prove it's curving because they'll just be like, well, I believe in the astronauts and that's the proof
Yeah,
of the
but
curving.
that's
But
bullshit.
you
I could tell
you
them
should
not
question
to.
the evidence they're presenting because they also just believe in this evidence. It's not actually empirical, something you can test for yourself. You can't go up there and see the Earth like that. You can't verify it's actually curving like that. But through going there. But what you can do is actually look at the surface and see if it conforms to the curve they're showing. A lot of the times when you look at ISS footage and they're showing you like high altitude balloon footage or whatever it is, just pay attention. Don't ignore what they're showing you. At the beginning of on a balloon launches, you'll always see the horizon is curved because they're using fissile lenses. So you just stop at the beginning of the video and just be like, bro, are you kidding me? Your
Yeah,
Earth
I
is
mean,
so,
look,
so
that's
small.
what I'm
If this is
thinking.
the Earth curve, you cannot have all the continents of the Earth. So this is nonsense. So if you go higher up, it's still going to be just as curved. It's not actually Earth curve. It's the curve of the lens.
Okay,
And
but
so you
all
can
right, all right.
dismantle all of their arguments if you want, but at the core of it, you can always just drag it back to the Earth being curved or not, which is the measurements of the surface. And that's where you win, because that's the deciding factor. Is it curved or not? Did you measure your table to be flat or to be curved? You measured it to be flat, well, then it's not curved. That's basic logic.
And I do think that that's a really good way to like respond, but also like I'm gonna have
That
to come
actually
back
made a
to
ton of sense to me.
I'm gonna have to come back to you guys with some arguments because I have friends who are like very like
Oh,
they
we get you,
have a lot
bro.
of
We
they
get
have a
you.
lot of
We've dealt with globe zealots like for over 10 years. So this is nothing new to us. You can bring
yeah.
every single arguments they think think works. We'll show you where the logical fallacy is. We'll teach you how the fallacy works, and then you can just dismantle their stupid arguments, which are actually non-arguments. And then you can
Yep.
present an argument they can't
I believe
refute,
that.
and then
I
they'll
believe
just be like stuttering idiots, like normal.
well, all right. Thanks, Drake. Drake, is your name Drake or Drace?
It's Drace A.I.
Drace A.I. Are you AI?
He could be.
No, but a lot of Globers think I am.
Goodness. Well, that's funny. Also, I like Wowie Jeff Day.
You guys have any like resources? Like
I just have
I
a
guess
necklace that was
never mind. You
just
said there was resources in the text channel. Sorry.
At the very bottom of the server.
all of that flower of life circle that I had. I used to have that whole thing made out of silver on my as a necklace on my chest. Then it got broken. Oh, he left. Oh man, what the hell? Is Dr. Jordan Peterson in this too? Hey, well, anyway, we'll talk later. Thanks for helping me out. I don't really know what else I would.
Yeah, you can always invite your globe zealot buddies in here, or
Well, that's
like
what I
Drace.
don't want
Yeah.
to do. That's what
Oh,
I
you don't want him in here. Okay. Well, that
No,
Drace's
I'm gonna be
plan
able
was
to talk
good.
to them
Yeah.
myself.
Yeah, Drace's plan was
Say,
good to practice. You know, you could bring in if they have a decent, if what they think is a decent argument, then you could bring it in
no,
here,
I
and we
don't
could
think they have a
teach you
decent.
how to dismantle it. Yeah.
I don't think that. I think that I have to have a good one to them. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna do. Oh shit! I dropped my guitar.
No, don't do
Ugh.
that.
Oh no, it's fine.
Okay, good.
But anyway,
Don't
all right.
break
I'll
it.
Have a good night, Joan.
Thanks for talking to me. I really appreciate that.
Yeah, good to talk to you. Come back again.
Yeah. After listening to y'all, I've adopted your tag. I don't know.
Good. Yeah. Yeah, I heard you say you saw the inconsistencies. I think that was what old dude posted in the two different globe images there. That's what we were trying to show your buddy there, but I don't know if you ever actually looked at them, but you did, so that's cool.
Well, yeah. He's a little inebriated, so give him a second chance. Yeah.
Oh yeah, all about second chances here.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that right, Josh? Oh, he's not. But yeah, no, the devil's in the details, really, at the end of the day, right? Like the more you dig into it, the more you start seeing how they went about. And sometimes they take the short way around, sometimes they take the long way around, and they always try to put a bunch of smoke screens up. So you just got to pay attention to the devils in the details.
Yeah.
One of my favorite things to do is I'll give them everything. I'll give them all their explanations, and I'll say, "How big is the Earth?" Like, what do you mean? Then we have to go down that whole rabbit hole about how big it is, and then the next question is, how far away is the horizon from a 6-foot observer? And then that's really what screws people over after that, because most people who believe it's a globe, they understand that when they've gone out to like large bodies of water, they've seen things like 15, 20 miles away.
Yeah. Isn't
And
like
that becomes an issue.
isn't like the measuring of the coastline, like bodies of water, kind of all about what like fractal geometry is about?
How so?
Well, I mean, I don't know. Like that's just always what I've heard. Like fractal geometry is like how you measure like something that is immeasurable, like just kind of
Yeah,
made up, you
that's
know?
just that's why they say the coastlines are immeasurable, is because the water keeps rising and falling, and the coastlines keep changing, and so uh, the closer you draw in the boundary along the how when the land recedes inwards. I don't have good English for this.
Oh, you're good.
Yeah, the closer you go
High
to the
tide, low
actual
tide.
landmass, longer the distance around the landmass is. So it becomes retarded way. You can't really define it by its distance without having an arbitrary standard.
Yeah, that makes sense. All right, well, it's getting kind of late for me. I might have to bow out, but it's been nice talking to you guys. I'll definitely be back in this VC if you'll have me.
For sure. Come back anytime.
Yeah.
Yeah, we also have the English Hub and Politics server where we have outposts, and we go out and talk to as many globe believers as we can, because that's kind of what we are, the globe outreach community, where we try to help the globers accomplish some form of rational thinking.